What's good, guys? And you are back for Humanity's First Predator Part 2. To be honest with you guys, I'm not even gonna sit there do all that whoop-de-whoop stuff. This is Part 2. I'd recommend you go back to Part 1 and then you'll get all the other access stuff that I say in the beginning of the show, whatever. On this one, I'm just gonna say bump this. You already know who this is. Thanks again for deciding to continue seeing it, to continue seeing the joint. Don't forget to like and hit that ding button so you can know when I post something new. Now, from what I remember, where we were at, let's get this on straight. We're just gonna jump into this shit. You should just listen to part 2 first. Part 1 first, okay? We're just gonna go ahead and jump into this. From last I remember, him and one of his friends is walked off and told him let's go, and he's leaving because the military is coming. And something that I didn't specify was where he was at. He was basically at that same floor when he fell down 400-500 stories high, wherever the fuck, how many roof that top that was. When he fell down and he was sliding down, about 2 floors up, there was a balcony. That's the one he landed on and then jumped further down behind that gentleman that he took for his meal. That's where he was. So him and his friend was inside that room. That's where his friend came to that room, and he's basically walking inside the building to go up top to walk. They were walking inside the building so that they could leave because of military is coming, like he had said. So from right then and from right there, we're just gonna go ahead and jump in. Now, that building, it kind of looked like the building was either a hotel or some sort of business building. No, we don't really know, but it's just a shitty, abandoned pretty much building, and gangsters and people, random motherfuckers just made this shit their base or something. But mostly on the bottom floor. The top floor, not too many people. Some people randomly go up there, but not very often. If they did, they would definitely fucking get eaten. So now let's go ahead and jump into this joint. They got into the hallway, walk a little bit further down, go into another room on the right hand side. They were on the left hand side of the building. The left hand side, basically in the back, there was like a window. They just jumped out of that window, and they didn't jump down. They basically, because New York, like, buildings are close to one another. They didn't jump down. They jumped down, but landed on the side of the other building, and basically jumped like little crickets, from one side to one side to get on top of the building. And then it was like, it was 3 of them. They jumped down and they jumped towards the building. And now they're on top of the buildings and they're just hopping all around the building. And as they're hopping on the building, Orion turned next to his friend. His friend's name is Marcus, and there's 3 of them. We have Marcus, Denise, and Thomas. And all 3 of them was in the same career field, wasn't the real same career field as him. So, which was medical. They were medical geneticists and plant scientists, all of them. And these people saw what he was working on and whatnot. That's how they ended up getting acquainted. But we're gonna get there. So, as they're jumping around the building, whatever, he turned next to his friend. He's like, "Hey, Marcus, what's going on? I noticed that military's been very active lately. Have you guys? Because I remember you guys had told me, and I trusted you guys on this. You didn't plan on turning a lot of people, and have you guys turned a lot of people? And has somebody been going kind of berserk? Like, what's going on?" And he's asking. And as they were, of course, on top of the building, like hopping around, it almost looked like they're fucking slowly flying, because when they jump pretty far. So Denise was like, well, Orion, unlike you guys, I have a crew. They're like, and all of them kind of turn like, what? What do you mean you have a crew? You turned that many people? She's like, oh no, I didn't. I turned about maybe one or two. And I made sure, of course, I tested their blood, and they are a lot weaker than I am. Well, all of us actually, and we could easily take them, like, if they decide to get out of line. But one of my sources told me that a couple of some of the billionaires' kids are either going missing or getting killed brutally. And the type of death that these kids are dying off of is the same way that we would kill in the slum, which no one give a shit about anybody in the slum. So that's what's going on. And he's like, what are you talking about? Really? So was it, you sure it wasn't one of us who turned someone who went rogue, like, you know? And she kind of's like, well, it is one of us. And then that person's pretty strong. She's like, to be honest with you, I don't even know if any of us could really take him besides you, Orion. And Orion's like, what? Who? Speak up. She's like, it's your mom. What? My mother? Yeah, your mom. Apparently, these are the only people she hunts. She doesn't hunt nobody in the slums. I mean, she's actually killing innocent people. Truly innocent folks. Yes, they're kids. Yes, they're arrogant. Yes, they think they're better than everybody else. Whoop-de-whoop. But still, they're just ignorant kids. You know? Okay, how young of kids are we? Thomas. Thomas, like, how young of kids are we talking? What the fuck? Kids? Look, Orion, I know it's your mom, but I do not... Denise, interrupt real quick. No. They're not that young kids. They're like, what, 25? Some of them 30. Some of them, I don't know. They're like in their late 20s. Basically, those kids that's on social media and bouncing around and doing all kinds of stupid, dumb pranks and stuff like that, you know. Thomas, oh, okay. Orion, I understand, and I understand where you're getting at with the kids. I totally would. I actually would definitely put my mom down if she really was doing that, like killing actual kids. Even though we are the way we are, we're not, our mind is still intact. We are still aware of what we are doing 100%. And they jump over this building, and as they're coming over towards this building, on top of the roof was this group of people, another group of people in this fucking roof. There's a big old fire in the middle. Couple of them, they're sitting down around this fire. A couple of them standing down, drinking and smoking and shit. And as they're coming up, they can see it maybe about 2 buildings away. And their vision, by the way, they could see a lot better than most of us, I think. Their vision probably equal to an eagle's vision. And an eagle and an owl's vision. Like, they could see really good at night like a fucking owl. And also in daytime, their pupils, they change color. At night, it's a little bit like dark brown, and then during the daytime, it turns either, some of them, it turns really blue, or it turns really, really light brown, like actual brown color, like a box brown color. Their eyes, and it looks, most people, I mean, eyes, it looks sexy or whatever, but yeah, that's their distinguish. That's the one way you could like immediately distinguish them. But then again, regular people have those kinds of eyes as well. So it's a little bit, off. That was just enough side notes. Now let's get back. As they're coming to this roof, they see them. And on top of the roof, there was like because they're coming from behind them. And of course, it's a circle. Some people are in front of them, but it's coming from behind these 2 guys that I'm about to talk about. This woman was sitting down, have dreads on one side, with the other side had long hair, multiple colors, blue, purple, who knows. And she had some guy on the floor, basically half naked. Basically half naked, just with his underwear on. And the underwear was torn to shred as well. And bleeding like a motherfucker, beat the fuck up. Hit her foot. One of her left foot was like on top of his neck on the floor. Beat the fuck up. And there was another woman right here. Same. Half naked, completely panties torn the fuck up. Looked like she might have gotten raped. Same as the guy. Who knows? Like, it looked like they were beat up. Maybe raped. Who the fuck knows what the fuck was going on. But both of them was beat the fuck up. A guy sitting on her right side. The guy had his foot on top of the woman's neck on the floor. And she's sitting right here, had her foot on top of this dude's neck on the floor. And they're just sitting there just talking like it's nothing, you know, just bullshitting and everything. And as they were coming up, Thomas, which was more on the right side, Thomas is like in the middle of the conversation. Thomas is like, "Oh, look, hey guys, any of you want a meal? I'm gonna pick us up one, right?" So as they were coming, I mean, you don't hear anything either. They're very quiet. Like, they know where to land so that they would make too much noises, especially when they're hopping on roofs. Because you gotta think, they are still people. They are still human beings. Same as you and me. I weigh about 190. I'm 199. Last I checked, I'm floating between 199, 198, 200. So if I jump off something, regardless, you're gonna hear the doof sound, you know. But at the same time too, if you want to jump off, I'm sure you know, if you want to jump off, you can kind of jump certain places without making too much of a noise. And so when they land places, they pretty much sound like doof, 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 doof. That's it, like doof, doof, doof. That's kind of the sound that it makes when they land somewhere, you know, for your body weight and all that. So as they're sitting there talking and everything, and one of the girl was like, "Hey guys, shut the fuck up," and everybody kind of quiet. They're like, "What's going on? What's going on?" Doof, doof, doof. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, doop, doop. And they can hear the noise. She can hear the noise getting closer, closer, closer. He's like, "What's going on?" And as she's about to turn around, they landed next to him. Because now she turned, they're paying attention over here, right? The moment that she turned, it landed. She heard it landed, whatever the fuck it was. All, like, three of them landed next, like, on the same roof that they're on. And they felt the ground. Doof, doof, doof. You know? And when they heard the noise, doof, 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 and they turn around, and they're like, "What the?" And she turned next to him, and she called his name out. He didn't answer. They look, "What the? Hey, where'd he go? Where'd he go?" And they're looking around. They're like, "What the?" The dude that was next to her, gone. Like a fucking eagle, just whoop, swooped him up, gone. Went with his ass. That's kind of how it is. And now let's keep going. Just a little scenario of what happened and how they do things. And as they're still jumping off roofs and everything, and they're getting closer to wherever their base is, they stopped and landed down and went inside of this building, and then dragging this guy by his neck. He was sitting there fighting, and Thomas was just holding him by his neck, and he kept fighting, and he pulled his gun out, shot. Thomas dodged it and grabbed his hand, broke his hand, and the niece, "Just kill him already, goddammit. He's like, "But if I kill him, his blood's not gonna be really warm. It tastes really good when it's warm." "All right, cool. Break a couple of his arm," and they pretty much broke his arm, snap his bottom jaw so he could stop making a bunch of noises and shit. Kind of left him in shit like that. While Thomas is enjoying him, Marcus and Orion is talking and everything about what they're gonna do about Orion's mom. What is he gonna do? And Tom Marcus and Orion is talking. Marcus, so, and at the same time in the background, you can hear the guy screaming and trying to fight for his life and everything. And Denise is fucking with him and whatnot. And they're enjoying themselves over there with that guy. Basically eating them and, doing whatever the fuck. Oh, doing what Otuksum does. Because that's their meal. That's their food. Marcus and Orion is having a conversation. Marcus, so what's your plan about your mom? He's like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to talk to her because you right. The military has been active a lot in this area, very, very much. So we need to do something and stuff like that. And also too, we need to increase our population. But we need to be very, very careful of who we give this power to, due to the fact that due to what happened, what's going on with my mom. And he's like, Orion, Marcus, why do you think your mom is doing this? Like hunting these billionaires' kids, and she's actually hunting the billionaires down, really. She's actually hunting the billionaires down, Orion. So wait, you knew about this? I mean, I thought you knew too. That's your mom. Like, it's not really my place to say anything, Orion. I respect that. True. Okay, so what's the plan? Why is she doing this? And then that's when Orion went into give an explanation of why the mom is doing this and everything. Now, we're going to go back again a little bit in history of why the world is the way it is and what's going on and how did he end up with his ability and what happened. Side note, this is just Orion explaining Marcus. Back. Well, Marcus, as you already know, is because of what happened. I'm sure you not really a fan of history, so let's go back way back when. I'm sure you remember when pretty much most of the world attacked America. We lost a lot. They lost a lot of lives. 70, 100, maybe 70, 80. 80 years ago, I think, or 90. I don't know, but most of 90 years ago, yeah. 90 years ago, you remember that war? It was brutal. A lot of kids, young ones, lost their life. And it was because of them. It was because of them. Orion. No, Marcus was like, yeah, but yeah, I know. Orion. The beauty about our history and what happened was that they did what they did. Fatten up America. Using some sort of, I think it was in the 2020s era, where they had this thing called cancel culture. I don't know if you heard about that before. Marcus, no, never heard of that. What is that? Well, way back when, they used to influence social media a lot. And anybody who spoke against someone being unhealthy and overweight, or against trans, or someone who wants to change their sex or whatever, if anybody speaked against it, they somehow narrate it to where they put them in blasphemy or something like that, call them bigot or whatever name they had back then for them, and block them off everything, And they might even get them fired back then. So it was pretty brutal. They also, and then when they thought that America was about 60 to 75% of American was pretty much overweight, they thought that attacking would be good at that time. Like, yeah. Thankfully, they forgot. But forgot about one major thing. American tasted freedom, and American know what freedom tastes like, what it is. And the will to keep that freedom is greater than anything. And that's how we were able to push the rest of the world back. As you know, right now, there is no small countries anymore. There is only China, Russia, Japan still fighting to keep their own land. Africa's still a thing because, well, there's nothing really much in Africa. Canada, well, Canada never get involved with anything. For some reason, they're still kicking. Marcus, okay, what's the point of all this? I know all this information. That I know our geographical situation. I know how many countries there are. Your point, we're talking about your mom here. Where are you getting at? Give me a second. I know. So, let me ask you something. A little bit off topic. Do you know why they attacked? Why did they do what they did to America? And why we are the way we are now? Do you know why? He's like, I don't know. They just wanted to steal what we have, our technology and our... Orion's laughing. Marcus, really? What's so funny? Am I that wrong? That far off? Yeah, you are that far off. You forgot what they call America in the slum? The land of the immigrants? Yes. The land of the immigrants. Okay, I will tell you why. The real reason why this long process to bring down America the way they did is because America give the rest of the world hope. America keep giving a spark to the rest of the world that your country could be as free as we are as well. Your women could work the same way women in America work. Your women in America, your men, whoever you are, just because you were born in a poor family does not mean you or your intelligence don't matter. We gave the rest of the world hope. And we started sparking. We give the rest of the world hope. And we started sparking freedom to the rest of the world. And it snapped to Marcus. Holy shit. Now that I think about it, you're right. America is very free. We can do whatever, to some extent, we can do whatever the fuck we want. Really, we don't get speech. They don't really... Like Iran, for example. Well, it doesn't exist anymore, but still. It's, West Asia. China. How they oppress their people very well, and they can't do anything without their government say so. Even the companies can't sell to certain people if the government doesn't allow it. Even if that person is... See? That is the real reason that war happened. And after that war got done happening, instead of after that war got done happening, instead of the people on top in America banding together with Americans and rebuild the country and help everyone grow and stuff like that, they decided to raise up tax like a motherfucker. Still, same thing. Everybody's the top personnels are corrupt as a motherfucker. Everybody on top is trying to make more and more money. And we also think the top is in their pocket as well. The top is in the they's pocket. And we don't. Orion did this. What's so annoying is the fact that I keep calling them, we don't have an actual name for them. Marcus, why don't we just call them the Illuminati? I mean, well, then might as well call them aliens too. Why don't we come up with a name for them? Why don't we come up with a name for them? Orion. Yeah, true. Let's name them. Orion. True, it would be nice to name them. Marcus. But at the same time, all we're going to do is, if we do that, we would create another conspiracy theory, blah, blah, blah. And also, I feel like a name would make it easier for them to hide or try to throw it under the carpet. Orion. True. We do need to find them, though. The real them. Marcus. Yeah, they are very elusive. Each time we catch somebody, no matter how much we torture them, finally we get, it's not them. Why are they so good at hiding? Marcus, I got an idea. Didn't you say you was going to reveal yourself to the world? Reveal us to the world? Yeah. What you got in mind? Why don't we do this? Nah. Let me speak when I reveal. When you decide to reveal yourself to the world, let me speak instead. What do you think? I got a great idea. Orion. Really? All right, I trust you. We'll leave it at that. Marcus. Okay. Now, back to your mom, though, because thanks for the information. I finally understand the real reason why they attacked. They started a war with America. And to be honest with you, the rest of the world is actually fighting themselves. There is small guerrilla warfare going on all over the fucking world right now. Trying to be free from being oppressed. And I totally understand America. America did start it. Because we give them hope. Yeah. So how are we going to reveal ourselves to the world? Orion, well, for us to do that, we can't exactly buy our own stuff. We'll just, it's the slum. Find some sort of hacker. Marcus, eat him? Yeah, of course. Eat him, use his stuff, and pretty much announce ourselves. That way. Okay. Cool. And sounds good. Back to your mom, goddammit. You keep trying to avoid this topic. Oh, fine. Let me call her and see what is she up to, and then we'll talk to her and whatnot. And of course, Denise and Thomas came back face is all bloody and everything, and Denise still clean, wiping her face off with a nice little towel. So, well, what's going on, Marcus? Oh my God. Why do you guys always make such a mess? I mean, damn. You do know we can't exactly hire someone to come clean this up, right? Like, Denise, be quiet. I mean, it's not our place anyway. It's just a abandoned place. We could just go to another room. Fine, whatever, Marcus. So, what's going on with Orion, your mom? What's up? He decided to call his mom, and when he called his mom, she didn't pick up. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go find her. And Denise make a phone call to somebody, one of her street guys or whatever, and to pinpoint where, because they've been tracking her kind of, and to pinpoint where she was. She was at this lavish mansion or whatever. Some billionaire she seduced and went to his house or something like that or whatever. That's where she was. And apparently the billionaire was out of the country. And she was in the mansion. They went there and everything, drove there. They pulled in front of this beautiful mansion, almost a little bit in the outskirt, way in the outskirt of New York. By the border of Pennsylvania, that's where they're driving to go to. Now, as they're in the car driving, let's go ahead and jump into, again, which I totally skipped, of how he got where he was and the main purpose and what was going on, right? Now they're just driving, okay? So I'm just gonna go up onto this side note real quick. As they're driving, now Orion is daydreaming of where he was into where he is now, and he's thinking about he's thinking about what was going on in his mind. He's just daydreaming right now. So he's thinking about his goal, because depending of how brutal his mom is right now, they might have to put his mom down. He might have to kill his own mother. So that's the thought that's going in his mind. And he's thinking to himself, how did it get to this? How did we get so far? My own mother, I mean, we talked about it very, very well. And my mom promised she wouldn't. And what is going on? She is so angry. That's not even what I really wanted to create. And he's thinking about himself when he was at the lab working for these huge corporations and creating these mixing human DNA with lions and tigers and other different animals to make people stronger, faster, and all that stuff for these corporations. And for these corporations and shit. And he's just running it through his mind, and he's remembering how when he was working at that corporation, because those little vials that you test like test tubes and test stuff, basically, I don't know what it's called, by the way, but a lab costs a shit ton of money, with the little tubes and I don't know what they're called, this little cup to, with the fire on the bottom and all that, to test stuff, to make shit. Those things cost a lot of money, and he didn't have that kind of money due to the fact that most of his money going to pay for mom's house and his brothers and stuff like that and whatnot, And so he's thinking about that process, how he was stealing little by little stuff to create his own lab at this random abandoned building that he had, that he purchased a while back, and he boarded up, and he, quote unquote, supposedly trying to save up money to build it up to make a little business. That was the bottom line of how it was. And then he's running it through his mind of the whole process of what he wanted to create. He's thinking to himself, that's not what I wanted to make. I wanted to make humans able to eat one big meal and being able to survive off that one meal for like a week or 2 weeks. And then for some reason, something happened. After I got done after I was done when I was done finishing all my test preps and everything, they found my lab, and he didn't have anywhere to hide that one sample that he had. So he said, fuck it, and inject himself with it, because they broke into his place and everything. But to be honest, who broke into his place? He thought it was the military who broke into his place, and they figured out that he's been stealing from the job, because the company he was working for, the stuff that he was working on was top secret stuff. Like, you violate any kind, you go to prison forever. You might even get the death penalty. It was that high or whatever. And he thought it was the military who broke in and everything. And he's remembering how surprised he was. It was just a bunch of gang members who broke in there to try to rob him and stuff like that. And then he injected himself with this thing, how scared he was and whatnot. And he didn't even know how the thing was going to turn him out to be. And of course, he did have a mouse. He tested it in a little mouse and everything. And one of the mouse almost got out of the cage because of how strong the mouse was. And the mouse keeps dying of hunger. No matter what he feeds the mouse wouldn't eat it. And he noticed that when he feeds the mouse fruit or like vegetables, broccolis and stuff like that, the mouse would eat those, and the mouse would live a little bit longer, but not as long, and stuff like that. And he noticed that the mouse got stronger, healthier, better, faster, and all of those things. And he injected himself with this fucking thing. He's thinking to himself. And he also was thinking to himself of how everything went when the guys broke in. They fucking broke his lab, tore that shit to shred and whatnot, hurt him a little bit. And he remembered he lost all his teeth. He got sick, really, really sick. Lost all his teeth completely. He went blind for a little bit and pretty much died after a week, after like 5 days of suffocation and all of that stuff, throwing up blood and all that inside that building by himself after they done beating him up and, break everything and left. And when he woke up, his teeth were super sharp. And by the way, their teeth look just like ours, like normal teeth. The only difference is they are like blades. Same as a knife. When you look at the knife sideways, it's flat or whatever. Same as your teeth, it's fine. But the edge of all teeth is very, very sharp. And of course, this little fang right here kind of got a little tiny bit of fang, kind of like a vampire. But it doesn't really, it doesn't look, it's not outrageous to where it would stand out to people, or anything like that. Their teeth is very, very sharp. It looks like regular teeth when they smile and everything. It looks all good, but their teeth is sharp as fuck. They could bite through plastic easily, So he remembered his mom going through the same thing, and now his mom is doing this. Just a little background of how he got where he was in the test and his goal. So they pulled up next to the mansion, walked into the mansion and everything. When they walked in, it was a fucking bloodbath. Like, outside looked clean. It was a fucking bloodbath. Bodies was everywhere. And the bodies that I'm talking about, it was all the maids, the attendants, the people, whatever was around. And then the mom was chilling on this amazing couch, just dousing herself on this woman's neck, just enjoying herself. And the mom looked over, hey, son, grab another guy, half woozy and shit. Guys, enjoy yourself. Grabbed them, tossed them. Now, when I mean by tossed them, imagine you grab a little teddy bear. You grab, by the back of the neck. You grab the little teddy bear, like, hey, and you just throw the teddy bear. You see, think about that process. You throw the little teddy bear with one hand. Here. Same thing. That's how strong they are. She grabbed the dude by the neck. Hey, guys. And when I mean far-wise, I would say about 20, 30 feet. Maybe, yeah, about 20, 30 feet away from him. Nah. Because where she was to the door when they first walked in, it was a pretty big mention. When they first walked in and everything, where she was sitting down, I would say maybe 140 feet away. Yeah, 140 feet, 150, maybe more. Tossed the dude like, whew. And the guy it looked like the guy was just pretty much floating in the air, going straight towards them. And Thomas grabbed the dude by the neck right here and looked at him, tossed him to the ground. Sorry, ma'am, I already ate, but thank you. All smiley, like everything's cool, like everything's just dandy, you know. Appreciate it, thank you. But we already ate. Me and Denise already ate. I don't know about Marcus. Hey, Marcus, you want some? You want some? I'll grab them for you. Marcus like, nah, I'm okay. I'm not that hungry right now. Orion, Mom, what's going on? Did you kill him? She's like, oh nah, he's out of state. He just called me a few while back. He should be here in a couple of hours. And as they're talking to the mom and everything, kind of going back and forth, the mom's like, shut the fuck up, blah, blah, this and that. And a flashback happened in his mind because his mom was already getting sick because remember, the food that they're eating is mostly printed meat, clone meat. That's what got in, clone meat. So the stuff that they're eating is not very good for their body or whatever. He had a flashback how his mom always had like this thing on her head, wrap her head all the time because she was kind of going bald. Now she got long, thick, black hair, silk almost look-alike. She is toned up. Her mom was like 65, and now she looked like she's 40-something. Really toned and sexy or whatever, and she was pretty much naked, kind of, just with bra and panties on, and walking around the house. She's like, Mom, put something on. He throws something in there, talking, and then, the door opened. They look back. Is the billionaire. He looks. He's like, what's going on? And instantly, Denise. When he's like, what's going on? And like instantly, Denise was like next to him, holding the door because he was about to open the door to turn around and run. Closed the door back like, whew. Why don't you come in? Let's just sit down and have a talk, He's like, oh my God, what the fuck, being scared and everything. Orion's like, fuck. Now we have to kill this guy. He just saw our faces, not to mention yours, and not to mention since my mother is going to be linked to me. And Orion's like, Marcus, Thomas, run around the place and find every camera footage, find out what's going on, whatever. He's like, and the guy is like, holy crap. And the mom name is Maya, by the way. I don't think I've mentioned that. Maya, she's like, don't worry, there is no camera in the house. He's a billionaire. There's a lot of crap he got going on in this house he doesn't want people to know about. So, of course, there's no camera in the house. And he's like, are you sure about that? Marcus and Thomas, check it out anyway. Yeah, we were anyway. And they're, running around the house, checking. And, of course, they're moving very, very quickly. Denise is like, I could eat this guy. Right? And Orion, didn't you just eat? And the guy's just sitting there looking around the house and was like, ugh. Well, I really, really did not think anyone else existed like you. I thought we kept it all in. He's like, huh. And he is chill. He's not nervous anymore. It's like he's all calm. And he's like, huh. I thought I thought this ability was only kept really close. Only us top in the organization that possess that kind of ability. And Orion, what? What? And by the way, Denise, I think I've seen this guy somewhere before. Mark, Orion, what are you talking about? What abilities? He turned and looked at Orion. Did the organization send you to kill me and my family? I mean, I'm not aware of any rules that I've broken. I mean, to be honest, you guys don't seem to be that strong. Denise, hey, are you Paul? He's like, yes, I am. Paul Otis de Vera. All of them stopped, and then immediately, like this, fucking Marcus, and Thomas. Whew, what did he just say? Paul Otis, bruh, he's a trillionaire. They're really gonna be hunting us down if we kill this guy. Oh my god, your mom really fucked up this time. Paul stood up. And then Denise is like, man, sit your ass down. She put her hand on top of his shoulder. He kept coming up. And she's like, what the? He stood up. He's like 6 foot tall. You know, he's pretty tall. And she's looking at him as she's trying to push him down. And by the way, their strength is, they're fucking strong. They could probably pick up 500 to 600 pounds in one hand and curl that shit like it's nothing, you know. So they are about 5 to 10 times stronger than the average person, than the average human being or whatever. Like they're fucking powerful. They're strong. Sorry. He still stood up, and they're like, she's like, Orion, can I ask you a question? This ability that we have, are you aware of anyone else in the world that possess it? And then as they're talking, he's unbuttoning his 5,000 or whatever $1,000,000 suit or whatever. He's unbuttoning his suit, and he looked at her. Move your hand. Would you excuse me? And she moved her hand, and he took off his shirt. I'm talking about like he is ripped. Took off his shirt, and he's unbuttoning the top. And Orion's like, no, not that I'm aware of. I'm the only one the first one who ever created this kind of, this ability that we have. She's like, well, just to let you know, I've tried with. She's like, well, he's not normal. And then when he was done, he's like, well, obviously you guys are not from the organization. I'm going to kill every single one of you. And then when I'm done, I'm going to keep one of you alive. And by the looks of it, I get the feeling you, Orion, right? You're the leader of this pack. I'm going to take you and have my lab torture you and get all the information out of you to find out how do you possess this kind of ability? And what the fuck are you guys? Orion's like, all of them's like, really? You're gonna kill us? Now, he put his hand and punched Denise, because she was the one that was right here. Punched the shit out of her. Boom! You might as well feel like, I don't know if you've seen those crane with the big old boulder that breaks buildings. Yeah. Boom! And I mean, he punched her so hard, she flew the fuck up, broke the side of the fucking building, landed in the grass out there. I mean, her neck is double twisted, bones popping out like she is fucked. Side note, she is fucked. They're like, holy shit, what's going on? And he turned around. He turned immediately like this. I'm talking about high speed next to Orion's mother, Maria. I'm gonna kill you next for killing all my servants and making a mess out of my house. And he came to punch her in her head. Orion move at high speed, push her mom out of the way, and pretty much grab his hand. Boom! Slide back, hit the wall, hit the side of the wall back there, and the wall just cracked the fuck up. Boom! They're like, what the fuck is going on? Immediately, Marcus and Thomas, of course, at the same time, now they're started fighting this guy, like just going on and whatever. As they're fighting him, Orion just went, oh, ugh, my hand. And Orion can feel it. A couple of the bones in his hand got cracked. He's like, whoa. He's fast and strong. And as he's watching them fight, moving around and whatnot, whatever, bloom, bloom, and they're moving, he's like, he's strong, but the good thing is they are faster than him. He is powerful, yes, but they're faster than him. And as they're doing all that, he looked at her mom. He's like, would you go check on Denise? Let me try to see if I could give the guys a help. Go help Denise. And he went into battle. Mom got up, run outside, and Denise is starting to pushing her ribs back in. Ugh. Yes, by the way. Otuxums. Yeah, I'm still not even used to the name. The name is kind of off. And by the way, it is spelled Otuqsom. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but Otuxum. They are not vampires, yes, but they can heal their abilities fairly quickly as well. Okay? And after they're done healing, whatever, they're still fine. They're basically fine. As long as the only way for you to, side note, to be able to kill one of them, you would have to cut their heads off. And if you end up grabbing the head and put it back together in a fairly amount of time, when I mean time, I'm talking about like within the first 20 to 30 minutes or so, if you put the head back together and kind of sew it or keep it there for a couple minutes or whatever, it'll heal itself. So it's pretty hard to kill them. So they're still fighting this motherfucker inside and stuff. And the mom's like, are you all right? She's like, damn, he is strong. And she's thinking to herself, and then the mom's like, why didn't you dodge it? And she's like, well, to be honest with you, I just didn't think. You didn't think he was that powerful, huh? No. And she stood up. She's like, but one good thing, though. What is it? I don't know if you notice. He's slow. Mom, what? He didn't seem that slow to me. Well, that's because you're not a fighter. We've been in the slum and we've been fighting and shot at quite a bit, and we've been using our ability. The only thing you've been using your ability for is to fuck billionaires and eat their kids. So, And then she ran inside to go help him fight. And as they're fighting this guy, and they notice he is slower, way slower. Yes, he is powerful, but he is way slower than them. And they're like, fuck, Orion. And Orion's like, hey, guys, do you think he's one of them? Do you think he's one of them? And Paul just stood there like, huh, one of who? The day who started the war in America and who pretty much put America where it's at right now, and who is controlling the world. He stood up. He's like, oh, the Illuminati? You guys are what? Some sort of some conspiracy motherfuckers? Huh. So you are they, huh? Screw you. And as he's running towards him at high speed, he's like, well, even if I am in day, all of you gonna die before you can do anything. They're fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And now they're not trying to kill him. They're trying to actually catch him. And the mom, he grabbed Orion. He grabbed Orion, fucking grabbed him, smacked him in the ground like quick. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, the whole building, the whole house is boom, boom. I mean, just fucking bashing him in to where he almost was about to fucking crack his skull. The other guys attacked to try to help. He grabbed Orion's. He let him go. Grab his leg, swung him around like a fucking teddy bear, like a fucking pillow. Hit the rest of them. Boom, boom, boom with Orion. Now, Orion's arm is broken. Neck's cracked, multiple ribs. His leg is fractured in multiple places. He needs to put them together in a couple seconds to heal himself. It's not happening. And he dropped Orion back down. He grabbed his head. He's like, I'm gonna squash your skull. And I wanted to keep you alive, but I'll take one of the others. Because it looked like among them, you're the strongest one. He went to fucking smash his head. And instead of smashing his head, Orion is like, this is it. I guess I'm done for. Bleeding out of his nose, eyes. And Orion knew it's over. And instead of smashing his head, Orion felt his head just like put down on the ground. And then Paul, whoever the guy was, because as he was fighting, by the way, as well, I didn't mention that. As he was fighting, he's getting buffer and buffer and buffer, muscle-wise, you know. And he fell on top of Orion. Orion's like, what the fuck? And the mom, eyes, fucking bloodshot red. Teeth actually extended a little bit more than normal. Nails poking out, holding his head. And he looked at him. Nobody hurt my son like that. Nobody. And drop his head on the ground. Everybody, all of them was like all kind of beat up and of course putting themselves back together and shit. Or can somebody help me? I can't breathe. And mom, Maya walked over, throw his body off of him. You okay? He turned around and you can see his body slowly, like his arms getting put back together. He pulled his arm. His mom's like pulling his arm back and putting his bones back, stuffing his ribs back in, straightening his legs and everything and stuff like that. Oh, by the way, side note, it doesn't, if they crack their bone, it won't just slowly heal. No, you have to pop everything back to normal and then it'll heal like normal. If you leave it like that, all fucked up, it will heal fucked up. And now you have to force yourself to put it back together. And they do feel pain just like everybody else. So as his mom was putting everything, back in place so that they could heal right, he was screaming his lungs out. And then afterward, they stood up and they're like, so what should we do? Fuck, I think he was one of the organization. And then Orion's like, well, we definitely 100% have to announce ourselves to the world within the next few hours because they're going to find him. They left, went back to New York, found this abandoned place. Of course, some guy who's a tech hacker, whatever, killed his ass while they're eating him back there. While they're eating his ass, whatever, took his computer and put it up, whatever. Now, Thomas, their face is covered, by the way. Marcus, sorry. Marcus was like, Orion was like, well, Marcus, camera's on. It's your turn. You said you wanted to say it. He's like, yeah, and I got a good thing to say. Marcus popped up. Hello, everyone. My name is It. My name is It. You can go ahead and call me that. And we are a Tucson. And we've been around for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. You might ask yourself, what? What the fuck and what are we? We are humanity's predator. We let you roam the earth without knowing about us because, well, it was better this way. But then, there is this organization. I'm not going to say their name. They know who they are. And they know, the top of the top know who we are as well. They've been under us for the longest time. Multiple times we tell a few of them, do not step out of line. And one of them did. And his name was Paul Otis de Vera. And I'm sure all of you know who he is. He stepped out of line. And we took his head. And his entire crew that was in that mansion. It should hit the news pretty soon. We are putting ourselves out there. The Atuxum or humanity's predator. Now, organization, we call them Day. Day. Step back in line, or we will put you back in line. We've been around way longer than you. This is not our first time. You can try to hunt us down. But remember, we know where you live. We know all your hideouts. And just because you think you have a little ability, you think you're strong, you think you're powerful, no, you're not. We can easily take you out. Same as we did Paul. And Paul's sons and daughters, you're safe for now. Do whatever you want to do. Don't look for us. If we sneeze and a droplet lands on you, we will wipe all of you out. We don't care. If your brother wasn't part of searching for us or coming after us, we don't care. We don't give a shit. We'll kill your brother. We'll kill your kids as well. We'll wipe your bloodline off the map of this planet. Humanity. Atuxum is your first predator. And now you're aware of it, that we exist. And they turn off the computer. That's it, guys. This one was pretty long. I really hope you did enjoy it and whatnot. And another thing too with this one, actually, I feel like there might be a third part. If you guys enjoy it and you like, whoa, I'm curious, all right, cool, I want more. If you want more, go ahead, comment in the bottom. If I notice that there's a lot of people that likes it, whatever, I'll think about it some more and continue it. Another thing too, like I say, this is something that just came straight up there. I didn't copy it off anything. I didn't, anything like that. So yes, some of them is written down, some of them is not. I do write down my dates and everything. Everything is documented. So for those of you who decided to want to copy it, you copy it, appreciate it. I'll just profit off of you since you copied my shit. If anybody decide to do that. Now, don't forget, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment in the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, help the channel out. Let me know what you think and comment in the bottom. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you did enjoy this. And this part 2 was really long due to the fact that I had to give you guys explanation and his background a little bit more and what's going on around the world, what's happening and stuff like that. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys' imagination was able to picture the fight as good as I did in my own mind, because in my mind it was dope. I hope it was dope in your mind as well, with that battle going on with Paul and Tucson, how it was going on and what was going on and how powerful it was going on. Also, why I say there might be a 3. It is up to you due to the fact that, don't forget, how the fuck did Paul get these abilities? How did where did he get these abilities? How long was he alive for? Who's the organization? All of it is still kind of there. But then again, if you guys don't comment or let me know if you like it or not, really, what's the point of making stuff that people don't really like, right? So let me know in the comment below. You guys have a good one and enjoy. All right.